Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the iPhone 12 Pro Max and compare it against the iPhone 12 Pro and see which particular iPhone is the better one for you. Now, I will definitely tell you between both these devices, you're really just going to be comparing the sizes between both of them. There really wasn't a crazy big difference between either one of these when they both came out, but there's a big difference when it comes down to the sizes. So we'll compare that. We'll talk about that throughout this video. If you want to pick up these phones or some other phones I'd recommend buying this year, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there and you can help support the channel at the same time. Now, starting off side by side between both of them, the iPhone 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max both came out in 2020, and they're both very interesting looking devices. They're both looking very, very good, and I will definitely tell you I like the way both these devices look. They both look very beautiful, and that's something I like a lot about it. 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display on this particular phone, which again looks very, very beautiful on this type of device. You're also getting the notch up top, which looks fine. A little bit of bezel around it, which is not that bad at all. I mean, it's very, very thin. And it's a very good looking phone. They are 60 hertz panels though on both of them, which again, I think is like perfectly fine for the most part. With the iPhone 12 Pro Max, this device is going to be giving you a pretty good device, very good display. It's a 6.7-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display, which is another really, really cool thing to go ahead and kind of get here too. I mean, this is another really good looking device. That's another very cool thing that I like, that I really like about this device too. So, without a doubt, I'm a very big fan of it. It's very, very large, very big notch at the top, but it's kind of the same on all these other ones too. A little bit of bezel, but nothing crazy. It's funny that both these phones are basically the same size because they're both like, reflective material. It's like this one of them is really just like bigger than the other one. You can see that it's flat sides on both. Volume buttons on the same thing too, so not a big difference there either. Still a very good looking device. Again, I don't have much to complain about here. And they both look very, very premium. It's something I really like. Now you have the notch, you have the lightning ports at the bottom, which still look great. Again, not much to complain about here either. On the back side, you have a very cracked back on my iPhone 12 Pro Max. Triple camera setup with a LiDAR sensor on both of these, which again is very nice to have. I like having the LiDAR sensors. I like having the triple camera setups. And that's another really cool thing going on here too. You are getting the MagSafe capability on the back of the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Same thing with the iPhone 12 Pro. That's another very, very big thing going on here too. So this in and of itself, once again, is another really cool thing going on here. And like I said, if I'm going through and getting some sort of a phone, I wanted to have this type of feeling. Not necessarily my 12 Pro Max with the cracked back, but something that has this like frosted glass back to it because it feels so beautiful and so wonderful in the hand. Like it's one of my favorite things. So IP certification on both, wireless charging on both. Again, very, very good phones. There's really not that much to complain about here that I've kind of said before, but I'm a big fan of it. And without a doubt, both these phones hold up very well from that perspective. So from that side, that kind of covers it up here. Now, in terms of software and longevity, both these phones are going to be lasting exactly the same amount of time. So it's not like one phone is going to last way longer than the other one. They're both going to be lasting basically the same amount of time. So that's just kind of what's going to end up happening here, which I think is totally fine. If you're going to get one phone over the other, they're both going to be lasting around the same time, which is totally fine. But again, if you are wanting the device with the better battery life, this is also going to be another interesting thing going on here. You're probably going to want to get the device that's going to be giving you a better experience when it comes down to the battery perspective. And that is kind of what's going to end up happening with something like the iPhone 12 Pro Max. The 12 Pro Max is going to be giving you slightly better battery life. So just kind of keep that in mind. Again, not the biggest deal in the world, but that is kind of one thing to keep in mind there. So that kind of covers it up there. Now let's go into a speed comparison between both these devices. The iPhone 12 Pro Max and the iPhone 12 Pro both have the Apple A14 body chip inside of it with 6 gigabytes of RAM. So let's go and see which one's a faster phone between both. Okay, there we go. All the apps are cleared in the background except for my iPhone 12 Pro. So allow me one moment to do it, and now they are all cleared out. So let's get into it. Phone calls, 3, 2, 1. About the same thing. Music, 3, 2, 1. Okay, the 12 Pro was a little bit faster there. App Store, 3, 2, 1. And the 12 Pro again was the faster one. 12 Pro Max slightly slower. Kind of interesting that we're even getting these types of differences. Hopping out of both. Photos, 3, 2, 1. Okay, about the same thing here too. Hopping out of both. Mail, 3, 2, 1. Okay, about the same thing too. Not really that big of a difference. Let's get into podcast, 3, 2, 1. Okay, pretty good stuff here too. Not really that big of a difference, but it seems like the Wi-Fi on this one on my 12 Pro is faster than the Wi-Fi on my 12 Pro Max. It's kind of random. Tempo Run 2, 3, 2, 1. This is kind of a big game, but not really. But like, it's always kind of annoying because there's always random pop-ups that come up. So like I don't know even what to describe about that one, but it didn't affect the loading speed. Still, I think the iPhone 12 Pro would have been kind of the faster one here. It did seem to kind of load faster than something like the iPhone 12 Pro Max so far. This one's already loaded. Let's go and click play, see if there's any big differences. I did click play here. I don't know why it didn't actually load up. That was kind of annoying. But you'll probably be able to see here basically kind of the same thing. Hopping out of both of these. Let's try Subway Surfers, which I don't have. We can try, see what other apps we have. I mean, I don't know why I have so many random apps here that aren't even the same. We can try something like Stack. Do I even have Files 321? Okay, about the same thing. iTunes Store 321. Okay, I think the 12 Pro again was the faster one. Let's go and get into the next page. We can try, again, I don't have the similar apps here, but we'll go back into the App Store for a second. I do want to try something. I just want to go all the way up here. And I want to load up into like Snapchat, for example. So we'll just load into one of these familiar apps here. So we'll load into Snapchat 321. And then we'll go and click on Update. And we'll just kind of scroll through here and kind of see what happens. But I definitely will tell you for the most part, between both, I think the iPhone 12 Pro is the one that's probably been faster than the iPhone 12 Pro Max. I'm not really too sure why both these phones have kind of been all over the place. But I think if I were to pick up one, I think my iPhone 12 Pro is probably going to be the faster one more times than not than my iPhone 12 Pro Max. But it's very weird. You could make the argument that there's more pixels to push instead of the iPhone 12 Pro Max, but still, it's a very, very interesting thing that just happened. So it kind of covers it up there. Now, in terms of the camera side of things, like I said before, triple camera setups on both of these, which, on my 12 Pro Max, clearly it's a little bit broken, but still perfectly fine for the most part. It's still functioning and everything like that is still perfectly fine. So when it comes down to both 4K at 60 on the front and the back of both of them, which again is very nice to have, you're getting very good sensors on both too. There's really not a lot to kind of complain about here for the most part. Now with my iPhone 12 Pro Max, again, this camera is the bigger one, so you would expect it to be better, but again, it's relatively almost the exact same thing. There's really not that big of a difference here. You're getting capability like, the standard zoom, so you get 12x zoom within this camera, which is very nice to have. On top of that, you're getting things like, video mode, you're getting the standard, slow mode as well, which is very nice. And I do think with time lapse and all these other things, it's a very good type of device to have. I still think it looks very, very nice. It's a very good camera when it comes down to it. But the iPhone 12 Pro is also going to be giving you basically the same type of camera. There really isn't that big of a reason or pretty big difference between both these phones from a camera perspective. Again, you can get, all the way zooming in up to 12x again, very much the same thing. And then zooming out, it's basically the same thing too. So you're getting video mode here, you're getting, slow mode. Again, it's pretty much what you'd expect. It's essentially the same as that camera as you're getting on the other device, which is totally fine. And once again, I kind of like having that type of capability that you can get a smaller phone, but still maintain basically the same type of, quality for the most part as these other devices, which is actually something I like a lot. So overall, what I can definitely tell you is between both these devices, if I'm going to pick up one, I definitely do like the phone like the iPhone 12 Pro. I think this one is probably the one that's better for me. It's a smaller phone, which is something I like, but it gives me the better feeling in the hand, and this is the phone I used to use. So I did actually prefer having a phone roughly around this size because it didn't feel like this massive bulky phone I had to carry around. With something like my iPhone 12 Pro Max, this is a much bigger phone, but you are getting a better battery, bigger size battery, better battery life on the 12 Pro Max. And that's kind of really the only thing you're getting with this phone. It's a bigger size phone too with a bigger display, so some people may prefer it. But personally for me, if I'm going to recommend a phone to the average person out there, I think a phone like the iPhone 12 Pro is the one that makes more sense for me to recommend because this is the device that is going to be giving you almost better, better feeling in the hand and just a better experience overall. That's probably more comfortable for the average person. So from that side, that kind of covers it up here for the most part. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video.